Now let's see how to obtain Google Trends data through a transform. First of all, a key iterator component was needed to loop on the keywords whose trend we want to derive, in this case equivalent car models. To do this, we will not directly access Google's web services, but we will use the SERP API web service provider, which among the various services offered also lists those relating to Google Trends. We insert the car models whose trends we want to check on Google into the keywords property of the key iterator. We enter the key iterator, and first we will need an HTTP download component to download the JSON file that the web service will return as the result of our search. That file will then be read by a JSON source dataset component, which transforms the JSON file into a tabular dataset. The format of the JSON file in question is the following. As you can see, the search occurrence data is inserted into a JSON array which, in this case, consists of a single element because one keyword is searched for at a time. So for this purpose, the JSON file has to be further processed to extract the array data and populate it correctly within the target table. For this purpose, a programmable dataset component is used, which is nothing more than a local table linked to a Pascal script. If we look at the Pascal script code, we see that it scrolls the JSON dataset to extract the value related to the array, and element by element it unpacks and saves it inside the programmable dataset. The fields of the programmable dataset are defined as follows: the date of the week that the trend is in, the keyword whose trends were extracted, and the value of that week's trend. The type of extraction requested returns us the occurrence data of the keyword search divided by week for 1 year behind the current week. At this point, the data, via a field injector, are enriched with two new columns, namely the geolocation of the search, which in our case is done with the IT extension, i.e. Italy, and the date on which the search itself is performed. Finally, the data is downloaded into a database table to be stored and subsequently processed. As a last step, a move file component takes the JSON file, which has been downloaded, and stores it in another folder, adding the timestamp as a prefix to the name. A mail logger component is also added to the transform, which has the purpose of sending the log with the result of the execution of the transform to a series of email addresses. This is the email that is sent by the mail logger with the summary of the transformation execution. As can be seen, for each cycle on the keyword 52 records are saved as the weeks present in a year. We can see the outcome of the transformation by checking the contents of the Google Trends table. As you can see, the downloaded data consists of a date that refers to the week for which we are calculating the trend, the keyword, the geolocation abbreviation for which the trends were extracted, the values of the trends, and the date on which the transformation was performed. We will see in the next video how to use this data to create a dashboard for their display.